is my review of the album Frehley's Comet. It was released in 1987 and produced by Eddie Kramer and Ace Frehley. So this album I would have got probably like 10 years ago or so. I picked it up when I was in Utah. Just kind of found it in a store. This wasn't my first Ace solo album. That was actually Anomaly, but I'll talk about that when I get to it. I've listened to this one a lot. It's kind of been one of my driving to work albums, or was for a long time. I kind of haven't listened to it as often recently because I've just been on to other things, but I've always liked this album quite a bit. When I guess I got to talk about Kiss a little bit. When I first got into Kiss, which would have been around 2007 probably-ish, Ace is always kind of my favorite member, so I was kind of interested in looking for his solo albums. Never really found any around here. I mean, other than Anomaly when it came out. So this is the only one I've actually found kind of in the wild. Other than all his other stuff, I had to order. But yeah, this. This I guess is kind of a band. So I wasn't really sure. I decided to start the reviews of his here and just kind of lump the Frehley's Comet stuff in with the just Ace by himself stuff, even though I guess it's sort of kind of a band and there's a different singer on some of the songs. But I don't know, I thought I would just put it in there. His 78 solo album, I'm going to talk about that when I do Kiss. So yeah, this is kind of a band. You have Ace, guitar and vocals obviously, Todd, probably going to say this wrong, but Howarth, I think, on guitar, keyboards and vocals, John Reagan on bass, and Anton Fig on drums. The album opens with Rock Soldiers. It's by Ace and Chip Taylor. It's a strong opening track. This was actually the first Ace solo song that I heard. They played it on the radio. He was playing somewhere nearby here, and it was, I think, around the time Anomaly came out. The only reason I can remember hearing it was because it's still the only Ace solo song I've ever heard on the radio. But yeah, I like the track. It's about the whole Ace DeLorean incident, so if you know that, it's kind of I guess adds kind of cool context to the song. It's got cool guitar parts in it. I like Ace's vocal on it. Good way to start the album. The second track, Breakout, is by Ace, Eric Carr, and Richie Scarlett, who I guess was in Ace's band prior to this album and then quit. I don't really know the background of this. I'm sure there's people that know better. But I heard that apparently he sang this song when he was in the band. But here you have Todd Howarth singing it, and I think he does a good job with the vocal. I like his voice. It's kind of cool to have an Ace album with some different vocals on it. Ace, not the greatest singer, and I'm actually kind of a pretty big defender of his voice. Most of the time I really like it, especially in the studio. I never really have too much of a complaint with it in the studio, but live can be a little hit or miss sometimes. A lot of different times I've shown friends of mine's clips of Kiss playing live, and they're not the biggest Kiss fans, and it'll get to an Ace song and they'll be like, whoa, what's this? So if you're not used to his voice, it takes a little getting used to. Anyway, this is about a song that he doesn't sing. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling, it's late. So yeah, Breakout, good vocal by Todd, cool guitar on it, cool drums by Anton, but that's pretty much every song on this because Anton's great. But yeah, it's a good song. Third track, Into the Night. This is a Russ Ballard song, so I think they did this because it was by the same guy that wrote New York Groove. I like this one a lot. I think it was a minor hit for Ace, and I don't know, it's just got cool atmosphere to it, cool guitar, Ace's voice, it fits the song pretty well, and it's got some cool bass to it too. It's kind of a cool just driving around at night kind of song. The fourth track, Something Moved, song by Todd Howarth and sung by him as well. This one I like a lot. I think it's a really catchy song. I like the guitar on it. I think it's got some cool kind of guitar interplay going on during it. Cool solo. So that's another kind of minor highlight for me. Well, like really, I would say these 4 songs are probably all like collectively my favorite song on the album. I can't really choose between the first 4, but I really like these first 4 songs. The 5th track, we got Your Rock right here. This one is by Ace, and Marty Coopersmith, sung by Ace. This one, I mean, I like it, but I'm not as crazy about it as the first 4 songs. Kind of compared to them, it seems just a little bit more like, I don't know if generic's the right word, but a little bit just like, maybe they didn't try quite as hard on this one, writing it as some of the other ones. But still pretty good, still pretty catchy. The 6th track, Love Me Right, song by Ace and Ira Schickman. Sorry if I said that wrong. I can't read my own handwriting. This one's sung by Ace. I think that the lyrics, especially during the verse, are pretty terrible. I mean, the chorus part's kind of just like them saying "Love Me Right," but the lyrics are pretty bad. But I do like Ace's singing on it because I think it's got a really catchy vocal melody, even though I don't like the lyrics. Some parts of the vocal are a little cringy when he makes some kind of sounds and stuff. That is but yeah, another pretty good song, pretty catchy. So I like that one as well. I like the solo too. The 7th track, Calling to You, is by Ace, Todd Howarth, Kevin Russell, and Jim McCarthy. Sung by Todd. This one, another catchy one. Kind of when I look at the title of it, I rant about this all the time, but it's one of those songs that the title isn't prominently said in the chorus, but it has a really memorable chorus. So I always think of the chorus when I'm thinking of this song, and I look at the title and it doesn't remind me of that, so I'm like, wait, what does that sound like again? And then as soon as I hear the song, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that one. So yeah, another one that I like. Not my favorite, but pretty good, pretty catchy. The 8th track, Dolls, is weird as hell. It's written by Ace, sung by Ace. It's one of those songs that the first time you hear it, you're just kind of like, what the hell is this? It's I don't know, in a weird way, I actually kind of like the song though. It's not a song I would play around people often or ever, but it's kind of catchy in its own strange way. I don't know, it's definitely an entertaining song, but really, really weird. Not quite sure what he was thinking with that one. 9th track, Stranger in a Strange Land. Another Ace song sung by Ace, and this one I think is pretty catchy. I like Ace's vocal and I got cool guitar, so another good solid song. 10th track, Fractured 2, is an instrumental to close it, kind of, I guess, the sequel to Fractured Mirror off the 78 album. And honestly, that's always been my least favorite song off that album, just because it's an instrumental. Not to spoil that review for when I get around to it. But yeah, Fractured 2, I guess it's not because I've never been that into Fractured Mirror. I've never paid that close attention to his Fractured instrumentals. I always just kind of this is nice background noise when it's on. But I do like it. I think it's got cool guitar. I could definitely tell that there were parts of it that sounded like Fractured Mirror. But I don't remember that song the best off the top of my head because, like I said, it was my least favorite, so I didn't listen to it a whole lot. But there's definitely it's got that kind of same thing going on through parts of this one. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It sounds like there's more of a band feel on this one than there is at that. I don't know. For an instrumental to close the album, I think it's pretty good. So, Frehley's Comet. I would say that I think that this was a pretty strong solo debut for Ace. Really, I like pretty much every song on here. I think that We Got Your Rock is probably my least favorite with vocals on it. I guess if I had to pick a least favorite, it would probably be Fractured 2, if I was counting instrumentals. But I'd say of the songs with the vocals, it's probably We Got Your Rock. Now the doll's really weird, but I kind of enjoy it for just being this weird thing. So yeah, I think that I don't know if I would start here as far as Ace's solo discography. Actually, yeah, I don't know. I need to like kind of go through and listen to some of the other albums before I say where I would do that. But strong debut for him, and it's kind of cool to have like the band element here, and having some other lead vocals and things like that to kind of to help with his like not being the greatest singer for everything. Even though that said, I think that he sounds really good on all the stuff he sings on here, and I like the production a lot. Just a good album. So sorry, it's kind of rambly. It was really late and a long day at work, but Frehley's Comet, definitely recommend this one.